Hi guys, Martin here. Well, as many of you know, I like to have a good laugh watching the stupidity of Romaniacs. But there is one thing that really does get on my nerves, and that is when they say, "Oh, but we didn't know what we were voting for." These suckers have just fallen for the mainstream media propaganda because those of us who were sensible and responsible before casting a vote knew exactly why we put that X in the box to leave. Cameron said we'd leave the customs union in this single market, among many things. Just watch this.
You have 2 years to negotiate. At the end of those 2 years, you are out, and you have to operate under World Trade Organization.
There was no talk of a deal then. This was just a made-up term to keep us tied into the EU in things such as a single market in all but name, and this is a disgrace. Remember that £9.2 million leaflet sent on behalf of the government that spelt out exactly what we were voting for? The term deal is used as an appalling smoke and mirror tactic by the establishment to keep the shackles on us because they never thought that we would win that referendum. This is exactly why we have to grasp this opportunity and see Brexit delivered, because it's now greater than leaving the EU. It is a fight for our very democracy, and we must ensure that this is protected for our future children and generations to come of our country. By all means, have another EU referendum in 10 years, but please, please, please implement the results of the 2016 first. You know, I couldn't give a monkey's now if it was the right or wrong decision, because nobody knows for sure. For me, it's all about our democracy and integrity. But as we know, for Remainers, it's all about money. Because you never hear of any reason why we should stay in. It's always doom and gloom. I mean, if the EU is so wonderful, then why aren't they trying to convince us that we made an awful mistake? This silence speaks volumes. To everyone else, it's about the liberty of our nation that many have died to protect. The EU have spoken of building an empire, and this is something that we were never asked if we wanted. Just take a look at this.
The world order of tomorrow is not a world order based on nation states or countries. It's a world order that is based on empire. Tomorrow is a world of empires in which we European and you British can only defend your interest, your way of life, by doing it together in a European framework and in the European Union.
The EU don't care about you. Stop being useful fools for them. However, my main message to Remainers is that if you want to live in this empire, then by all means move there. There is absolutely nothing stopping you. But be warned, as history has taught us, empires never end well and always fail, mainly because there's less democracy. This pyramid scheme allows those at the top to get richer, while those at the bottom become enslaved. Who are these people controlling the EU and our lives? I never voted for them. The more our powers are handed over centrally, the more our democracy or voice is eroded away, and the more we fall into a dictatorship or empire. But once again, we see that Britain stands alone in the face of tyranny, and once again, we will liberate Europe from this cartel, whatever the cost may be. We simply must leave on the 31st of October. If we don't leave then, we never will.